How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel.
Today we are working on the H22. We're gonna get it stripped apart, and what else, Matt?
That's it.
Easy.
Yeah, so we're gonna start tearing into the block finally. Plan for today, we're gonna start with the wiring harness, get everything labeled and taken off. And then yeah, we're just gonna start ripping things off and see how far we get. We got a few hours tonight to work on it. So let's just get into it.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. I mean, we're just gonna start, going hard.
One eternity later.
100% chance I'm gonna speed up this clip.
Yeah, I should think so. Oh, that's some progress, Matt. Yeah, I'm feeling strong. No, I'm not, but okay. I can pretend.
Okay, do it.
There we go. The harness. There they are.
Injectors.
That was easy. Beautiful.
That's black.
Black magic. Can I do the oil filter?
Yeah.
Nissan, I'm gonna keep this and throw it on my SR. I'll just do that. Dizzy out.
Nope, she's stuck.
Now what are you gonna do, pry? Bigger hammer? Yeah, someplace nice and... Oh yeah, that's all you need.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You told me the grommets wouldn't fall off, Tim.
No, I said they wouldn't go into the abyss of the engine bay. They'll still fall on the ground, but we'll be able to find them.
That is clean.
No, that's nice.
Wow. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting that based on how dirty the oil was.
Yeah. Coming hard.
It's coming. Yes. Yes. Ah. There we go. She's cracked, so we don't want that. That's off balance.
Won't be reusing that one.
Oh.
Oh well.
The next day.
Alright guys, it is a new day today. Me and Tim were working on the engine pretty late into the night, and here's how far we got. So we got most of the big things off the motor now, and we also got started taking some of the sensors off, and we've actually just been labeling them in Ziploc bags over here. So we started getting everything organized. We have all the bolts and sensors kind of in their own Ziploc bag and labeled, so that we're not going to lose track of anything. We also have kind of some of the parts organized on this workbench here. The original plan was to use this workbench for all the engine components, but I realized that we are running out of space really fast. So I got my big workbench cleaned off. This used to be full of all kinds of crap, and it's cleaned off now, so it's going to be dedicated for this build. So everything is going to be organized. I really don't want to lose track of anything. So yeah, this is nice and clean. I got the wiring harness there. I got the valve cover here, and I'm ready to jump back into this. So basically what I'm going to start on is getting the timing belt and all the components off the front here. I want to work on getting the cams out, and that way I can get the head off, and then I want to get the oil pan off. And there's also this weird thing here. So this obviously is where the oil filter would screw onto, but then there's also coolant lines going to it. And I don't know if you can see in here, but there's some really gross looking sludge in there. If I use this screwdriver just to pick some of it out, like, that is gross. So I don't know what the problem is there. I'm blaming the Nissan oil filter, but Tim is thinking there might be a leak internally here where the coolant was mixing with the oil, and then we started getting this kind of sludge buildup. So I'm assuming this piece is removable. I just have to figure out a way to do it. So I'm going to work on that yet too. But first things first, I want to get all the timing components off of here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to relieve tension on the balance shaft belt, get all that stuff out of the way, and then that's going to give me access to all the timing belt components, so then I can relieve tension on the timing belt and slip the belt off, and I can get access to the water pump and some of the other components in there too. So let's just get into this and see how far we get tonight. Alright guys, sorry for all the time lapses on the front components there, but I really wanted to get as much detailed footage as I could of the front and how it goes together and comes apart. Then I'll be able to just review the footage, and then I'll know exactly where it came from. So I'll be able to benefit from it, and it'll help me out. So that's kind of why I did that. What I'm going to work on now is getting these cams out of here. So I've already started by loosening the 10 mils on the ends. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by loosening the 12 mils in the middle, and then I'll go beside and then the ends, and then I'll just keep loosening in sequence so that I'm not putting too much pressure on one side, and then I'll make sure that they all come off evenly, and then I'll pop the caps off, and then the cams should come out. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have all the bolts loosened by hand already. So like I said, I started in the middle and then I worked my way out, just loosening them. Now they're all basically finger loose, so what I'm going to do is use my impact gun and just zip them all off, and then they should lift off of here. Oh guys, this is exciting. Okay, so I'm to the point now where the cam caps are about to come off. I got them all nice and loosened up. Some of them I had to gently pry on just to get them to come loose, but they're all loose now, so they should come off fairly easily. I realized that I did not have the motor at top dead center, and that's definitely something that you should do before taking the timing belt off. and before doing any of this, because there was some tension on this side. So when I ended up loosening everything off, this side actually popped up before I had any of this stuff loosened off. So it doesn't look like I've done any damage, but that's definitely something to keep in mind. Put it at top dead center so there's no tension on anything, and then you won't risk damaging anything. But I'm to the point now where I'm going to start laying everything out exactly as I pull it off. So I have my cardboard labeled here. So this is going to be the exhaust side of the motor, and then I have the intake side back here. So I already have these pieces laid out exactly as I took them off, and I'm basically going to keep doing that with every piece that I take off, and then that way I'm not going to mix anything up and I know exactly where it came from. So I'm going to start popping these off, and then hopefully we can get the cams out of here. Hey bud.
Daddy?
Yeah?
They put the AC pops on TV.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Is that on Netflix or what?
Yeah.
Nice.
You want to come in and watch it with us?
Is that the same one we saw in theaters?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull these camshafts out of here and then I'll be right in.
Okay.
So this one and this one will be held on by the cam seal. So I'm gonna have to pull it off all as one piece. Alright guys, so as you probably heard, I have to go inside and watch Paw Patrol with my son. But once that's over, I'm gonna head back out to the garage and see if we can get this oil pan off. And then we might even get the head off tonight, so we will see how far we get.
A few moments later.
Alright, I'm back at it again. Spoiler alert, Paw Patrol saved the day. So right now I'm working on getting the oil pan off of here. So I've already loosened off all the bolts. I got 4 nuts left on there, so 2 in the front and 2 in the back, and I've loosened them off, but I haven't removed them, and that's going to prevent the oil pan from dropping. So I've already got it loosened up. I had to pry on it a little bit to get it loose, but it is basically loose and ready to come off now. So I'm going to undo those 4 nuts, and then I should be able to gently take it off, and let's hope there's no metal shavings or anything in the bottom of it. We'll kind of see kind of what the condition is. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Man, that oil is crazy dirty. I don't know when the last oil change was done on it. The bottom of the oil pan is super clean though. Like when I run my finger on it and get through all that oil, I don't see any metallic flakes or anything. So that's a really good sign that the motor is healthy. So that makes me happy. One less thing for me to worry about anyway. So I'm about to get to work taking the head off of here. So basically there's these 14 mil head bolts down in here. So I'm going to kind of use the same sequence that I did when I removed the cams. I'm going to start in the middle, just loosen them off a little bit, like a quarter turn at a time. So I'll start here and then I'll go off to the sides and then I'll space it out evenly. And then that way it's even pressure coming off. So I'll do about a quarter turn and then I'll do them all and then I'll come back and I'll just keep doing that sequence until they're all loose, and then I'll remove them all and then we'll see if we can pop the head off. So I basically have to stand on top of the engine stand because otherwise if I'm on the ground and I try loosening this off, the whole engine stand is just going to turn. So I'm going to try and balance myself on here while loosening this, and that should keep it in place enough that I can get this thing loose. So let's give it a try and see if I can fall. This is so sketchy, guys. Alright guys, I'm a little out of breath right now, but I did get all the head bolts broken loose. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to follow the same sequence. I'm just going to keep doing a quarter turn at a time, just until they're all nice and loose, and then we'll get them off of there. So I'll catch up with you guys once I'm ready to take the head off. Alright guys, I got all the head bolts loose, so I'm going to just pull this off of here, I guess. Nice and easy. Alright guys, so this right here is the reason why I always opt for the H22A1. It's the closed deck, so it can handle a lot more boost pressure. Yeah, you suffer a bit in the cooling side of it because you have all these passages closed off, but I'd much rather prefer to have a stronger block, and then that way it's nice and reliable when you're adding a bit of boost to it. The pistons are fairly dirty, so it's definitely had a lot of use, and we're gonna definitely freshen this thing up. But I don't see any like damage or anything like that to the cylinder walls that I can see. Just at first glance anyway, everything's looking really good. So I'm very happy to know that this is a good healthy block as far as I can tell so far, and it was well maintained. So it's going to be a good candidate for boosting Frankenstein, so I'm really happy for that. There's a bit more work that I want to do to the motor yet, but I don't think I'll get around to it tonight. I still have to figure out a way to get this piece off of here. I don't know. If you guys know or have any ideas, definitely drop me a comment below. That would help a lot. I do not have a socket or a wrench that fits this. And then there's a couple other things under here that I want to get to. I want to get the oil pickup taken off, and then also this bottom piece here. I'm not 100% sure what it's called. I think it might be the girdle. But yeah, I want to get that off of there and basically get this thing stripped down so it's just the block with the rotating assembly left inside of it. Anyway guys, I think that's about as far as I'm going to get tonight, so I'm going to have to end the video here. If you guys have any advice for me, definitely drop me a comment below. Let me know how you're feeling about the build so far. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are too. It's definitely going to be a learning experience for me and Tim both, because we've never really boosted a motor that is naturally aspirated before, other than his NA SR20. Technically, yes, we've boosted an NA motor, but not something like this where it's never been meant to have boost. So this is definitely a first for us, and I'm super excited about it. So if you guys have any advice, like I keep saying, definitely drop us a comment. We love to hear from you guys, and just anything is appreciated. So anyways, if you like the video guys, smash the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.